Good afternoon. My name is Alain Briançon. And here's the chair behind me. I'm the Chief Technology Officer for Cerebri AI. I work in DuPont Circle, so it was great I could walk here. And I want to start talking about Iris. What is Iris doing? Well, Iris is probably buying your product, or no, she might be checking information about your competitors. You need to find out if she's engaged today to do business with you, and if she's wanting to do business with you, you have to figure out, more importantly, what can you do? Can you offer the right deal right now? That's where we come in. We use machine learning, artificial intelligence, to measure the engagement that Iris and the hundreds of thousands of millions of customers that you have. We measure a commitment, a financial commitment to spend money with you. And we score the products that she likes and doesn't like. It could be a car, it could be a credit card, it could be a loan, or it could be travel. This information is used to create a set of actions that you can take from a touchpoint outreach and marketing point of view to reach out to her. And unlike others, we tell you what action to take when, followed by what action to take place when. And that increases her engagement, a commitment to your brand and business, and she's going to buy more product and services. How do we do this? We build our business on corporate data. We're not on the web, we operate behind the firewall, whether on the cloud, on a high-performance cluster, and we use information that you have on customer transactions and the like, and we build millions of journeys with, at times, billions of touch points to compute the overall commitment and the individual commitment to the brand that Iris and others have. And we use this information to put together these actions that drive financial results, that drive financial success, whether it be the customer acquisition, upselling, cross-selling, reducing churn, and dealing with risk. We embed risk in every single customer journey. It's at the core and a key differentiator between us and others. Our focus, our global brand. Throughout the world, we measure customer engagement. Typically, the CXO or the CMO is the customer of that information. The targets we have is financial, auto, telecom, and travel and leisure. What we provide is an engagement matrix in dollars. This is not NPS, Net Promoter Score. We tell you what is this person likely to spend the next time they make a purchase. We build campaigns using a series of actions, not simply, this is the thing you should do, send an SMS or send text. We tell you what to do. The AI tells you what to do, when to do it, and the kind of product to offer. We deal with concurrent KPIs. You might try to reduce churn, but you're going to induce risk. You might try to push a campaign to drive the sale of services during fourth quarter and impact your sale of products in the first. With this approach, you cannot rob Peter to give to Paul. We have heavily patented the platform, and we have a key focus on auditability. And it's at your fingertip. 3 customers have deployed it, and we're launching it tomorrow. What have been the results so far? On the retail side, for a global OEM, we increased the conversions of sales of cars when you lead the customer by email by factor 7, services by factor 6, and for a global North American bank, we find $1 billion of additional automotive loan, changing the risk by only 2 basis points and reducing the amount of manual processing by 17%. With Cerebri AI, we ask if you can kindly give us your vote, and we'll also welcome any business opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, judges, your questions, please.
Thank you, Alain.
Thank you.
Everyone needs what you do. Okay.
I don't have enough business cards.
I know. You know, you got to be send everybody an email. How is it that no one has done what you've done before?
It's a good question. I mean, AI is a very crowded space. We spent about $15 million so far. We're raising be around soon. We just try to crank up the AAR to have a good valuation. We approach the problem very differently. We build it solely from the perspective of the customer or the consumer. And we organize the data. We integrate all the touch points that the corporation has in these long customer journeys. And that takes a lot of thinking with respect to how to organize the data. The AI itself, we cracked problems in technological reinforcement learning that few people have cracked. And we feel comfortable that we have a best-in-class perspective because Microsoft, through their venture fund, through M12, invested in us, and we're the lead in the A round, and the largest AI company in the world. And let's just say that they could be a great customer. So it is just a lot of very hard work and the perspective to rely on the corporate data. Our CEO, co-founder, Jean Bélanger, is an accountant by training. So don't talk to him about Twitter and Facebook and social, it's not audited. He likes data, he likes structured data, he likes audited data. And we find that there are enough signals that you can extract if you focus on this very good quality data.
And he likes risk. So.
Yes.
Hi, great presentation. So
Thank you, sir.
how advanced from a data, you were talking about liking data, how advanced from a data perspective, how organized does an organization's data have to be to work with you?
So very good question. The answer is reasonably. We do not require data lake, and a lot of the approach took place on finding a way to integrate sources of multiple types and of different sources. There's been a lot of efforts where let's kind of have a giant data lake and hope that it works. Our approach is you never answer the question, what data do you need, by all. You say, this is kind of a minimum set. We have the concept of a minimum valuable data set. And part of the AI is to figure out what areas of information. Is it more marketing? Is it more telemetry? Is it more loan configuration? Is it more demographic? Will drive an improvement in the performance. So this incremental approach allows us to get going pretty quickly. When we engage with a customer, a very well-organized customer, I'm visiting one in 2 days, we will turn from access to the data to the first level of operation in 6 weeks. For other customers, typically a pilot, and we have 8 pilots going on now, in addition to 3 customers already in place, takes about 16 weeks to get the results. The main focus for us, at least main focus for Jean, is how quickly can he have the size license discussion. So the earlier the result, the happier it is, and of course the happier the customer, although it's the other way around.
So if I'm a corporation, I think you said you have 3 who are using you now.
Yeah, deployed.
Who are your competitors? What would I be using to approximate this, if it's a real approximation to?
I mean, there are always competitors. So Pegasystem is people that we've been into and we beat. We took, they were ahead of us in the 3 accounts, and we were able to get a pilot. We overlap a little with Adobe. With respect to the execution. We don't do the execution part. We create lists and scores, and that can be fed into Oracle Cloud or Adobe and the like. Microsoft, of course, really likes Dynamics 365, but they do the lift and will help a little. It's typically rule-based systems that we compete with. Our biggest competitor from the core is typically the internal data science team. And so we've built this quite elaborate platform, which is not a set of models. It is really a set of software that supports multiple models that allows internal data science team to add on top of our architecture. That took a lot of money to take place. So there is always the non-invented here, and then you show that we do something different that can be fed through an API. We have a UX, as I showed, that can be fed through an API through the traditional models that they're already doing. But over time, we'll take, hopefully, more and more of the footprint of modeling that takes place in these big companies.
All right.
Welcome.
Any questions from the audience? I see somebody in the back there.
How do you mitigate the privacy risk with the information that you have collected and used?
Fantastic question. We are not on the web. We are behind the corporate firewall. So that's that level of defense. With respect to privileged data, PII data, and the like, they are taken away and hashed during the development of the machine learning algorithm and the processing, and they are only used and exposed at the last moment in front of the console that a sales manager, a bank manager, or the like would be using. So we strip out all the PII. In addition, we don't rely, because the AI doesn't need it, on demographic information and the like. So that gives us an additional level of security with respect to preventing untoward biases and issues dealing with fairness. But at the core is we use corporate data behind the corporate firewall. One of our customers is the Bank of Canada. We're doing GDP work for them. That's fascinating, to put it mildly, especially the reviews. What's your number? What's my number? What's your number? What's my number? And there, the amount of security that you've got to deal with is absolutely, it's very, very high. And we didn't have to deal with, once we explained how our PII management took place, there was not an issue. There are some customers that don't even run on the cloud because they're very concerned about it. So our platform, which is Kubernetes-based and can be applied on multiple hardware and cloud-based structure, sits behind, sits on their hardware, and we don't see, we're never exposed to the PII information.
Who's financing you? Who's financing you, and what are your sources of funding?
We have Microsoft, the University of Texas, Leewood in Kansas City have been the sources. Management and the founders have put a significant amount of money in it. With respect to the revenues, I mean, we're going to go through a B round because we need to increase the speed of delivery from a marketing point of view. The revenues are SaaS revenues, so it's a licensed business.
One last question from the audience. No? Maybe not? Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your time.